like Joshua in the good book of Joshua chapter 6 and verse 1, who will walk and will bring down the walls of Jericho. The walls of Jericho being the walls of the Democratic Labour Party in St. Lucie. I'm speaking about a man who is my friend. I'm speaking about a man who is my mentor. I'm speaking about a man who is my comrade. I'm speaking about Peter Ricardo Phillips, the man who will bring proper representation and progress to St. Lucie. I'm speaking about a man who you can depend on. I'm speaking about a man for St. Lucie. I'm speaking about a man who has St. Lucie's best interests at heart. The man who has Barbados at heart. I'm speaking about my friend, Peter Ricardo Phillips. Come see a man. Come see a proper man. Come see my next representative. Come see the next member of Parliament for St. Lucie. Come see the man, Peter Ricardo Phillips.
Another day, carry heavy load, God, can get you to carry on. Good night. Good night, comrades and friends. Good night, the wonderful people of Checker Hall and Broomfield and Fosdick and Checker Hall Road number 1 and Caveville and Pike Corner and Bourbon and Swampy Town. Good night, my people of St. Lucie. Let me begin tonight by saying thank you at the very first opportunity I have for the 2,730 votes which you gave me at the 2013 general election. I am eternally grateful to you tonight. And I know 2,730 by 2 will land me as your next representative at the coming general election. I'm a bit sad tonight because missing from this crowd, this large crowd, are 2 persons, 3 persons who were with me the last time. I think of Comrade Nita Payne, the man who seconded my nomination, George Bruno, and my adopted mother, Eugene Brathwaite. But I am confident tonight. I am confident tonight that they are looking down from heaven, not just on me, but on this wonderful crowd here and the people of St. Lucie, saying we have left you in charge. You have a job to do at the next general election, and we are confident that you will do it. This speech was perhaps the most difficult that I had to put together today. As I sat, as I laid down, as a matter of fact, and I was thinking there's so many things to talk about. We got real material, as RPB said. But I am here tonight at the beginning of this campaign to prosecute a man who has been masquerading for the past 23 years as the member of parliament for this constituency. A man who seemed not to understand what the word representation means. A man who is only interested in himself and talks a lot about too few. Well, he knows why he talks about too few. A man who promised a lot but delivered nothing. I went into my files today and I pulled out some brochures. 1999, 2003, and 2013. And I'm going to deal with 2013. As a matter of fact, when I deal with 2013 brochure, it is exactly what was in all the rest. Shifted for the most part. In the 2013 brochure, he has 43 initiatives. 43 initiatives, including provision of house spots at Mount Poyer, Fosdick, Coconut Hall, improvement to roads, Archers Road, Maycox Terrace, Checker Hall, Rockfield, Well Road, Cave Hill, Josie Hill, St. Clement's Churchyard, and Burrows Road. That's what he said, in part of what he said in 2013. And we are now in 2018, on the threshold of a new election. And would you believe that the man who promised to do all these things from way back in 1994 coming forward? Because remember, I said to you that what is in the 2013 brochure is the same thing virtually as what has been in all the rest coming down. He made a comment, and I ain't sure that I got enough time to deal with the things I want to deal with tonight, but I will deal with them one by one. The campaign now start, and we got time. He is now walking or driving up and down this constituency, pretending to be doing things at the last minute on an eve of an election. Well, let me tell you something, people of St. Lucie, and by extension, Barbados, because this is how the Democratic Labour Party operates. They do nothing for you. And then come election time, they pretend to be doing things. And then they come and they flood you with all sorts of gifts and so on. I want you to take the gifts and vote them out. Because the people of St. Lucie will take whatever he brings and vote for Peter Phillips. I want to take your mind back. People of Oxford and Alexandria and Josie Hill and Daytree Hill and Harmony and Pike Corner and Mount Gay, Cottage, Rock Hall. I want to take you back to 2015, from about June of that year, when every day, day and day, we had dry taps. We had dry taps, and when the taps ain't dry, the water was brown. I remember Christmas Eve 2015 being on the road in Oxford, where the water truck came and having to beg the man to go into certain areas because people in Oxford didn't get water for that whole day. And where was the masquerader? The man, when we were at CP, they called Ghost. Could not be found anywhere in this constituency. But one morning, suddenly, you wake up and you see a man stripped himself of his clothes and on Facebook drinking water, telling you it's clean and nice. You didn't know that it was water, the same water he was selling down at his business. But did not care about you. When we met at the shop in Detroit, Colin and I, and our party leader, Mayor, and a number of us from Cynthia and Dale, in December, because we did tours of the constituencies that were very gravely affected by this water shortage. I wrote the Barbados Water Authority. I sent them emails. They did not have the decency to respond. But months after, through the St. Peter Constituency Council, they called the meeting at Boscobel. We met at the Boscobel School. Party leader Motley, Colin, and myself. I think Eddie Hinkson was there too. And we dialogue with the people because we understand what it is, how it is to care about people. We understand the plight of people. We understand the fact that when you can't get drinking water, it is extremely difficult. But the member of parliament could not, for St. Lucie, could not care less about what would happen to you. So he was absent. Even now, as I speak to you today, people in Checker Hall and other areas across St. Lucie, Josie Hill, a lady sent me a photo. I thought it was white wine in a glass. I didn't know that that was the color of the water. I remember when I came to Checker Hall one evening, persons came to me and said, we can't drink this water, we have to be buying water. Well, good God, man. How could you be paying a water bill? Paying your water bill every month and still going to go and buy water. And your member of parliament, the current member of parliament, never represented you. For that, he must go. He has to go. 23 years of non-performance, he must be fired. And fired by the ballot whenever the time comes. As I have been canvassing across this constituency, we get the complaints. And the number one complaint is roads. I got some youngsters in here with the cars tonight and the good rims, and they complain. They get them mashed up all the time, having to change shocks and CV joints and all of that all the time, regularly. All right. I got exhibits here tonight, and he got to come and answer. He has to answer us. He has to answer the people. This ain't going to be no easy way to no seat, because as a matter of fact, we getting rid of you. The first, exhibit number one, taken from the Sunday Sun of September the 13th, 2014. Mr. Photographer, look at here. Look at here. A picture of the silent police that Kurt Humphrey is going to take care of. In the Bayland, and Kurt, you could get a copy of this paper because he talked enough about roads. They talk about a $140 million road plan. A road program to start next year. And this is September 2014 I'm talking about here. This is what is in the paper. So next year, therefore, will tell me that it is September 2015. And that's what I had to say. They're now negotiating for IADB loan. This is what Minister Lashley said in the Bayland, in that area, in the Prime Minister's constituency, in the presence of the Prime Minister. And I'm going to come to, because he was on TV tonight too, I'll come into that soon. You mean Cabinet Broadcasting Corporation? He said they were having discussions and they were going to build all these roads. You talk about Bayville and Luke's Avenue and all of that, but I want to get the piece because Kirk can deal with this in St. Michael South. They said roads will also be repaired in St. Lucie. 2014, they said that. And the program was supposed to start in 2015. 140 million road repair project. And St. Lucie was supposed to get a piece of the pie. Let me ask the people of St. Lucie, you see any of that? Did you get any of that? Or we still driving about tonight in potholes like as big as one-bedroom apartments? Potholes. They got a place named Well Road in Pike Corner, and it got to be road in the wells, because that's what it is. All over the place. And now they're walking about on the evening election, patching. After they spent about $2 million a few years back, patching again. Would not fix the roads. And I heard Michael Lashley on TV tonight talking about a road in Pike Corner, Lil Bay. That is because they believe that they can come at last minute and pretend to be doing something and the people will forget. Well, I got news for them tonight. I have spent some time in my hometown, my home district, Pike Corner, and the people in Pike Corner are fed up, and they have changed their mind, and they are coming with the Barbados Labour Party. They are coming with the son of the soil, Peter Ricardo Phillips. You think that was all? That was September the 13th. I told you about 2014. 5 days later, roadworks plan again. The Minister of Transport says small contractors to get a slice of a $10 million upgrade. And listen. He said he embarked on a road tour of St. Philip and St. Lucie. This is in 2014. He said work was going on at Sealy Hall. And in Peter says was a signal that government was expanding opportunities to small road builders other than the major players. So in less than a week from these reports, on 2 occasions, the minister said that roads will be fixed in St. Lucie and St. Philip. I got a question tonight for the Member of Parliament for St. Lucie. How is it that roads were being done day in, day out in St. Philip and none in St. Lucie? And you sat down, the people of St. Lucie send you to Parliament, and you sat down in Cabinet each and every Thursday. You refuse to come to anybody's funeral. As a matter of fact, every Thursday they got a funeral, you say you're at Cabinet. So you sat down in Cabinet. And nothing has happened on the behalf of the people of St. Lucie. And now you're walking about. You're walking about like a chicken without a head. Up and down, pretending that you're going to be fixing roads. Well, the people of St. Lucie going to fix you. They will fix you. They will fix you. They will fix you with their ex when the Prime Minister chooses to call election. "23 years. You need to send him into retirement. He is a spent force. He is not interested in you, the people of St. Lucie. Non-performance, he must be fired. Fired unceremoniously, fired. He has drained the treasury. Every month drawing a salary of 12,000 plus. Constituency office being paid for. I pay for mine out of my pocket, and I doing the work. No, that got to change. Has to change. Doing nothing. Doing nothing for the people. And if you think that was bad, if you think not being concerned about the water shortage that we had, even the discoloration we are getting now, if you think that was bad, if you think that not looking out for us in the best interest where the roads are concerned, if you think that was bad, hear this. Hear this. He has a ministry, an important ministry with social services, the Ministry of Housing, Land, and Rural Development. You hear what I say? The Ministry of Housing, Lands, and Rural Development. He has done nothing to the benefit of the people in this constituency with such an important ministry. You heard his predecessor had it, and even if the bill hoses in the body than in them, the bill hoses. What has he done? He cannot even deliver up to then. Because as I understand it, people getting $40,000 in lumber now and all of that through rural development. But let me tell you something. We got to do an investigation and an audit. We got to do an audit when we come to office. Because I don't understand this. You could do nothing for people. Look, they got a man. They got a man not far from here. As a matter of fact, I can think of 3 people as I stand here that are living in conditions deplorable. Deplorable. I ain't calling nobody name. Deplorable. And the Minister of Housing, who's representative in their constituency, is doing nothing about it. But hear what he's doing. Hear me. Sunday Sun, October 26, 2014. Let me pause to get a drink here for this because the throat got to be clear and the voice got to be clear for you to hear this tonight. I remember being at conference this year at St. Leonard's School. I remember. And I took up this Sunday Sun of October 26, 2014. Y'all got it? Photographer, you got it? I hope you get it and see it good. And in this, he's only the photographer. He ain't the reporter. He only the photographer. Give him a chance. In this, it reads, the headline, not selling. The subheadline, St. Lucie family tells Kelman, we are not parting with our land. This is what the paper of October 26, 2014 says. And let me read it. Let me read a little piece. Let me read a little piece. All this is the evidence, people. When you go to the polls, you got to got these things at the back of your head. And when you're putting down that X, you got to mark against this foolishness, this nonsense, and this ignorance that the member of parliament currently walking about, doing about here. Huh? An elderly St. Lucie woman and her son say they are being harassed for their property by Minister of Housing and Lands, Dennis Kelman, and ministry officials. They said they are being harassed. The paper goes on to say, the land which the family has owned for 62 years has been apparently earmarked for recreational purposes. And Upset Edwards said he was contacted 3 weeks ago by an official who informed him that the ministry was willing to offer him $1 million for the property. which includes his childhood home. It said, he called and asked if I would accept $1 million. And I told him no, that man, so we got to salute that man. We're going to salute Everton Edwards tonight. We're going to salute him. He said no to $1 million. As a matter of fact, the property worth $2 million. And you understand what's going on there? A $2 million property, you gone and offering the ministry officials out of the ministry that the member of parliament holds. In his constituency, 2 of his constituents. My mother used to tell me, when your own dog bites you, you're properly bitten. You're properly bitten. We go on. They asked him if he would accept that. The property worth $2 million. Worth $2 million. He said, this is his son. They recently moved back to Barbados. In charge, it has been over 2 years. It has been over 2 years that Kelman, the MP for St. Lucie, and officers from the ministry have been bombarding him for land. You imagine a minister of the crown who is supposed to be helping people with land and giving lots to the young people in this constituency and all those who are in need of homes, bombarding somebody for land to give a private entity? You could understand that. An 86-year-old woman who had this property from the 1950s. And her member of parliament who should be looking after her and her best interests. Officials from his ministry bombarding her for land. She said, the father bought the land. This is Everton said, the father bought the land in 1952, built the house in 1953, and the man died in 1954 when his son was only 6 years old. And now, a wicked, because it is wickedness. Wickedness at its height. Wickedness in high places. That you could go as a minister and the officials from your ministry, because you had to know about it. And everything that happened in the ministry, you are accountable as the minister. So even if you didn't do it personally, you know about it. And you should not have done that. People of St. Lucie, this is what the member of parliament for this constituency. This is what happened. This is what was reported. This is what was reported. How could where's the compassion? Where's the compassion? Where's the love that you could have for your constituents, that you could encourage that? It is only when Peter Phillips and Mayor Motley, Peter Phillips and Mayor Motley, and you know who Mayor Motley is? Mayor Motley is the leader of this Barbados Labour Party. It is only when we visited the home, on more than one occasion, they recognized, hey, Peter is here, Motley is here, so we got to back off. They're going to back off. And I tell you tonight, Kelman, back off, St. Lucie. Back off. Let me tell you something. I want to say this. The game of the lights. The game of the lights, so God be obedient. I want to say this tonight. I saw something in yesterday's paper, and I didn't plan to comment on it. But some woman questioning whether Barbados ready for a female prime minister. Well, let me say it to you. The people of St. Lucie are ready for Mayor Motley as the next prime minister. The people of St. Lucie are ready for Peter Phillips as their next representative. Let me say to you tonight, this is our time. This is our time. Now is our season. People of St. Lucie, whenever you go to vote across Barbados, vote the BLP, vote Mayor Molly, vote Peter Phillips. Good night. God bless you.